Hey everybody, it's been a while since I did a flea market yard sale find type of segment, so I'm going to squeeze one in here. It shouldn't be too long. Uh, Let me start by talking about this hacksaw blade handle. This is actually something I've had for years. I recently cleaned out a storage unit that I had, and I had forgotten that there were some couple of tools in there, and when I was looking through I came across this and remembered that this is something that was probably in a box lot I had bought quite a few years back and just never bothered doing anything with. And I thought it was, when I pulled it out and looked at it again, I realized it's actually kind of neat. This is called the Low Boy. It says patent pending USA, Low Boy. This is by a company called Dreyer Brothers, D-R-E-I-E-R. It doesn't say where in the U.S. they're out of, but this is a low-profile hacksaw. Basically, you can either loosen this nut. You can have the blade here going right across, which is really low profile. For like maybe if you were just cutting a bolt or something, like 3/8 or 1/4 inch. Basically, whatever the width of the hacksaw blade is, you couldn't cut anything thicker than that in this position. And then if you loosen this wing nut, you can bring this up here and you can have it at this much of an angle. That gives you a little bit more room, but it's still really low profile. So I'll throw a blade in that and keep it handy. And then of course, to tighten the blade, it's just a matter of rotating the handle here. And this is all metal, no plastic parts. Seems to be fairly well made, so I kind of like that one. Again, this was probably in a box lot with a bunch of other stuff, so I really have no idea what I actually paid for this, but probably not too much. I went to a flea market while we were camping, which is unusual. I usually don't do that, but it's a good thing we went. The wife was in the mood to go to a flea market, so I thought, well, here's a perfect excuse for me to go looking for tools. And we went to a flea market in Wareham, Massachusetts, which is out on it's the first part of the Cape Cod. Anyways, there was a guy there who had stuff in his space, but he wasn't there, so there was a woman who was basically covering for him, so she didn't have much bargaining power. So initially it was kind of hard to get her to come down on any prices. He had some taps and dies and things like there, and I was like, well, how much if I take all of them? And couldn't get a really good steal on some of that stuff, so I passed on it. She was worried about giving too much away and then having this guy be upset at her later. So, but as luck would have it, the first thing I got her to warm to selling me were this set of parallels right here. These have some light surface rust on them, but it's almost a mirror finish, so these were definitely ground. They're dirty. I haven't seen any writing on them, but I noticed, like on this one here, I can actually see that there used to be almost like black paint or something in this web area in here. That's all but gone, so I'm wondering whether or not these might have been stenciled with some markings. There's some surface rust there. That might need a little bit of work to clean them up, but they're decent size. They look to be about 8-inch long, and I think I paid $5 for this pair, which I was happy with that. Use them on the mill. Could use them as packings on the mill, on the vise or something like that. So after I bought those, that kind of broke the ice, and I was able to get a couple other items here. I think I paid $3 for this cutter. Normally I don't really bother with these cutters. I've actually got several of these that I rescued from that estate that I bought the Atlas and Hendy lathes from. They were going to go to the scrapyard, and I got them for free. I'll have to go through those at some point, but these would have been good to use on the Brown and Sharp horizontal mill that I ended up scrapping for them. And this particular one here is a Niagara cutter, and it's marked 8/28/72, and with somebody's name on here, so not sure, but that sure looks like a date, 1972, so it's been around. It's marked on this side Niagara cutter division, and it's marked with the size. This particular one is looks like a 4" by 1, so I think it's 4" in diameter by 1" wide. It's a staggered tooth cutter. I looked at all the teeth and I didn't see any damaged teeth on it, so I think this is actually still a usable cutter. So I don't know, I might trade that to somebody for something I could use. Don't know whether or not it would really be worth anything on eBay. Or, you know, who knows? Maybe I could put this in an arbor, and I was thinking about having an arbor that I could use on one of the lathes and mounting the work on the carriage of the lathe and allowing the feet to basically bring the part underneath this cutter as it was moving and kind of almost act like a horizontal mill. I'm not sure if that's practical or not. I want to say I think that I've seen that done, but you know, for the money I spent for it, I was willing to take a chance on that. What I think was a better find there, again, only a couple bucks I think I paid for this. This is a slitting saw. This one is marked 6 by 1/16, so I think it's a 1/16 of an inch wide cut that it takes, and it's 6" in diameter. And this one is not marked with the maker, but also this one also, the teeth look like they're in excellent shape. And this I think I could use. I think I've got a holder that would support this with an R8 collet on it that I could then use in the Wells Index mill and have it, mounted in the mill. And if I've got a block in the vise that I want to cut a slit in, I think I can actually come across like this. I think I've seen John over there on Double Boost, I think I've seen him do that operation in his mill. I know you need a lot of lube when you do that, but I think that's doable is what I'm saying. So anyways, that's that cutter. And then I got a couple of chuck keys for I think 50 cents a piece. I think I got the two for $1. And again, don't even know if I need these, but usually if I can get big keys like this for 50 cents a piece, I'll usually buy them. I'm getting to the point now where I've got quite a collection of them, so I might start having to think more seriously about not buying anymore until I'm sure, whether I need them. So I'll probably not buy any more of those unless I can get them for 25 cents a piece now. Oh, I gotta mention, there was one other item I bought at that flea market. It was the best deal I've made in a while. I happened to spot a box. A guy had a bunch of vacuum cleaner stuff, and he had a box there, and it said Dirt Devil on it. And I looked inside, and what was inside was a miniature central vacuum unit, brand new in the box. And then there was a second box there that went with it that had all of the attachments, the hose and the attachments and stuff. I can't show you that right now because it's actually out in the RV. Because what it is, the guy wasn't aware of it, but I happen to realize that what he had there was a central vacuum cleaner unit for an RV. A lot of high-end RVs have that option included in them, and if you want, you can buy that unit and put it in your RV. Wouldn't you know it, I didn't realize it at the time, but those units are ridiculously expensive for what they are. Imagine you could use them on some of the bigger boats too. But anyways, it's like a $350 unit. I got it for 20 bucks. I mean, I stole that. My thought was, I wasn't even thinking for our RV. I immediately thought I could turn it right around, throw this thing on eBay and make some money. And lo and behold, it turns out the wife actually likes the idea. So look to the future for an upcoming project where I'll be installing the central vac unit in our fifth wheel. So much for making money on that one. But hey, you know what? At least I didn't pay $350 for a unit. Next item that I've got, I had a little bit of time one morning on the way to a baseball game out in Grafton, Massachusetts. I saw signs in town for, it said the Upton, Massachusetts VFW, I think, was having a flea market. So I decided to hit the flea market. I didn't really get much at all. Pickings were pretty slim there. But I did get, I get a personal flotation device, you know, a vest for one of my kids. I got that for $1. It was in really good shape. It was a Bass Pro Shops one, and it was in good shape. We'll put that to good use next summer. Had a stain on it where the lady's daughter had spilled some fruit juice, and you know what? For $1, I can live with that. That was a good buy. And then the only other thing I got was I got this old first aid kit, and it's actually still got the stuff in it, but it's old, and obviously, you know, this stuff in here is probably not any good. I got a triangular bandage. Let's see, got surgical gauze bandage, got some old rolls of adhesive tape, don't even know if they stick anymore. But I wanted the box. I thought, look at that, it's a nice metal box with one divider in it, and it closes nicely, and it's a sturdy little box, and I got it for $1. So I can put this to good use here in the shop for something. I don't know what yet, but I will. What actually led me to buy this was there was a guy there who had a nice metal closing hardware drawer, like the kind you see in the that's usually in a rack in the hardware stores. He had one of those, had a whole bunch of stainless steel hose clamps in it, and he wanted $30 for it with the contents. And of course I asked him, I said, you know, I really don't need any more stainless steel hose clamps. I've got some of those. So I said, would you sell the box, just the box? And he said, nah. He said, several people have asked him to just sell the box. Now, to me, I'm thinking, if you've already had several people tell you they only want the box, maybe it's time to throw the stainless steel clamps into a cardboard box and put, you know, $10 on those and sell the damn box. But anyways, he didn't want to consider even selling just the box alone, so I passed on it, went 2 rows down and bought this for $1. And it's smaller and it doesn't have as many compartments, but it was $1. Then this past weekend I went to my regular local flea market. I hadn't been there in a while, and things are starting to improve there. The last time I was there it was dead, but now we're into this video. At the rate it's going, this video might not even see daylight until December. Might not get uploaded until December on YouTube or late November, but the reality is it's mid-September right now, and things are actually starting to look up there at the flea market. We've got more people coming in, which means the vendors are coming back and bringing in more inventory, so that's a little bit of an improvement, but I still didn't really find diddly to get excited about. I stopped at one vendor, and I picked up, he had a couple of wrenches. What do they do with those wrenches?